Hey, what's up everyone, Kevin here. In this video, I want to share with you some tips so that you can survive flat and narrow runs on your snowboard. Flat and narrow runs, I think, are the hardest thing to do on your snowboard. They're even harder than some of the steeper black diamond runs out there. And they're so difficult because as you're riding, it can be hard to stay in control, to not catch an edge. And then when you add in other people around you, it just can create a lot of chaos. So hopefully with these tips, you'll be able to survive these long, flat, narrow runs and do them successfully. The first tip is to ride with your knees bent, your back straight, and your hands over top of your snowboard. By riding in this balanced position, it's going to do a couple things. The first one is it's going to help you to keep your board pointed straight because your shoulders are square to your snowboard. This is the best way just to keep your board running on a straight line. If you ever find your board turning when you don't want it to, it's probably because your board is following the direction your shoulders are turning. So by keeping your shoulders square and looking over your shoulder, it's going to help to keep your board running straight. By riding with your knees bent and back straight, it's also going to help to keep your weight centered over top of your snowboard. And this really gives you the best balance over top of your board. So on the flat runs, it's important that you have this good balanced body position. It's going to help you to keep your board running straight and just have the best balance over top of your board. So next, when you're riding these long, narrow, flat runs, you also want to be on your snowboard's edge for the majority of the time. You can think of it like you're doing really long and straight turns and just rocking from one edge to the next. By being on a bit of a heel edge or toe edge, it's going to give you control so that you can keep your board straight, and it's also going to allow you to slow yourself down if you need to. Your snowboard's edge is one of the best tools you have for staying in control, and I think the most common way to fall on this type of run is when your snowboard is flat and it starts to turn without you knowing it, and then you catch your heel edge. So to avoid that, use your edges, and that will help you to stay in control. The next thing that will help you on these long, narrow runs is having an edge that you can turn to if you pick up too much speed, or if you're feeling like there's too many people around you and you just kind of need to take a break and maybe slide off to the side. The easiest edge to turn to if you need to get back into control is to do a turn onto your heels. Turning onto your heels will help you to slow down, and by facing forward, you'll see everything that's in front of you. When you're making a turn like this to slow down, make sure you're not turning into other riders. And if you can, turn towards the side of the run that's closest to the slope and not going off the side of the edge. If you can't avoid these runs completely, ahead of time, try to get some practice in on flat runs where they're not so narrow and some place where it's shorter as well. By practicing someplace where there's not a lot of people around and you feel comfortable, it is going to help you build these skills so that if you do get onto a really long, narrow run like this, it's going to make it a lot easier. I hope these tips will help with your flat and narrow runs. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, or if I missed something, let me know in the comments as well. I'll put some links to the gear I'm riding in this video in the description. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp, and I'll see you in the next video.